Hey Stamping friends, it's Angie here with Too Cool Stamping, and we have an awesome class today. Sorry for the late start. We are talking about the In Colors again this class, but this time it's all about the In Color Club cards, and we're going to turn that big class into a smaller 5-card class kit for everyone who's interested. So it's all going to be about color combinations. I know I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about the new In Colors. What do you think? I'd love to hear your comments. A lot of people are like, I don't know, they're kind of muted, they're kind of toned down, they're not really bright, and maybe people aren't, liking them like some other collections of In Colors in the past. I challenge you to look at them individually. I know many times in the past, if you look at the whole collection of In Colors, a lot of times they go together really well and they're really pretty together. But there's been some times where they may not go together as a group of In Colors as well as they just are really cool colors to work with. And I think that's the case here. And I personally love them together and separately. Just because I like earthy colors. I like the rich tones, even if they're muted. I kind of feel like they're kind of a neutral for the different color families. So anyway, what I wanted to show with my In Color Club and now sharing with you is that there are lots and lots of ways that you can take these base neutral colors and really just, combine them with some fresh. We have our whole new color refresh, so we can combine them with lots of different colors to create some really awesome combinations. So I challenge you to really experiment. Get all of your ink pads out and play with them. And the ones I'm going to show you tonight are just going to be, they're not going to be any In Colors together. They're all going to be focused on one In Color with other combinations. And that's kind of the goal that I had when I put together my cards for my In Color Club. Now, before I move on, I want to just share with you a little bit. If you don't know much about my In Color Club, it still has signups open for that. And we've had several groups fill up, and we've already had some that are mailing, the first round's mailing out tomorrow, so that's awesome. But I want to tell you what that's all about if you've never heard about it. So the In Color Club is a way that you can, it's kind of a budget-friendly way to get all of the In Colors in your collection. So for every, it's a 5-month program. We get 5 people together as a group, and then each month you get a different color from the In Colors, and then you'll also get 4 supplies to make 4 cards to go along with that color. And that's what we're going to show you tonight, is the 4 cards that go with each color. So in your kit each month, you're going to get cardstock, you're going to get the designer series paper that goes with your color, you're going to get the ribbon, you're going to get the ink pad, the refill ink, and the Stampin' Right marker. Sorry, my dogs are going wacko. And then you'll also get jute, which I don't have with me, but you'll also get some jute that goes with your color. Then one of the months you're going to get the In Color dots, so you'll have those to use on your card, on all your cards. And then if you choose to do an add-on, you can also add on the Stampin' Blends markers. So all of that information about that In Color Club, again, it's 5 months, you get 1 color of supplies each month. And then also cards for that color. You can get all of that detailed information at my website, toocoolstamping.com. So just click on that and scroll down and you'll see all of the information for the In Color Club, and signups are going to be good. I'm going to try to keep it open through the end of the month. We're just going to see, I've had it open since the beginning of the month. We'll see what the, how interested people are, and once the interest starts waning, then I try to close up the last group. So if you're interested, sign up now so that I know that you want to participate. Okay, so what we're doing today is I'm going to show you 1 card from each of those color groups from my In Color Club, and then those 5 cards are going to be part of my In Color live class kit tonight, and we're going to be using the really awesome layering leaves for all of the cards. This is it's a pretty sentiment set, really, is what it comes down to. Lots of beautiful sentiments and some really pretty leaves, and you might already have the Bough Punch. That's what you use to cut out your leaves and your little flower sprigs. So it's not a bundle because this came out a long time ago, but this is a brand new set. It's actually a set that was created with the help of Rachel Tessman. She's a $1 Million Achiever, and this was her $1 Million stamp set. So that's what we're using for the In Color Club cards, as well as the 5-card class kit tonight. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff. Remember, if you want the 5-card class kit, you need to use the host code when you place your order. You need a minimum $40 order with me, and you use that host code. I'll flip the camera around and give you that host code when we flip it around, and we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and do that and get started and play with all these fun colors. I had so much fun creating just because I couldn't wait to start just mixing and matching and experimenting with the colors. So let's hold on for 1 second. Close your eyes so you don't have to go on the roller coaster, and we'll get started. All right. So let me get this a little bit better here. All right, and turn this light on so we have a little more light on the subject. All right, so again, our host code for our 5-card class kit, C97SQNG2. Place a $40 order. You can go to my toocoolstamping.com website, click on the Shop Now link, and then place the order through my online store using that special host code. You must have the host code so that I know that you're interested in this class kit. And then if you want all 20 cards, 4 for each color for In Colors, then you can sign up for my In Color Club. And that's going to be open just for probably a week or so. And that is it. We're going to close off all of the reservation or the signups for that. And I don't want you to miss it. So if you want that, again, go to toocoolstamping.com and I have all the details there. Okay, let's get started with our cards. So the first one I'm going to show you is Copper Clay. Beautiful, beautiful copper color. And all of these start with a traditional card base. So the 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. So that is our card base ready to go. And then we're just going to get right into the stamping. So this here is, what did I do with my ruler? Here we go. This is 4 1/4 by 3 3/4 inch basic white. We're going to start out with Misty Moonlight. That's one of my favorite colors to combine with that copper color. And the thing I like about layering leaves, there's several different leaves and sprigs that you can use. A solid, this is an outline, this is a different design of outline. You can fill that in with a 2-step color, and then there's 2 different styles of the little sprigs, as well as some little texture dotting, and then a large leaf as well. So we're going to use all of those basic shapes on this particular card. So we're going to start with the solid branch, and use Misty Moonlight again. And we're going to just stamp all over this whole thing. Now, don't forget to use a paper piercing mat. These are photopolymer stamps, so it's going to be much better if you have the paper piercing mat underneath. And I'm just going to put this kind of here and there and everywhere. And then we'll do Copper Clay next. So I'm starting out with the largest. I'm like, where is it? Oh, I was showing you the Copper Clay in my In Color Club demonstration. So Copper Clay is next. Again, I'm starting with kind of the larger leaves first. And we'll add some of those. Like so. And then let's do a little sprig here, and we'll do that with Blackberry Bliss. So we'll just kind of add that in some of the white spots here. And then we'll finish up with this little leaf shape, and that is going to be in Pool Party. By the time I got done designing all of this, I had like 75% of my colors out on my desk, just playing around with all of it. So this leaf, I'm overlapping a little bit, but I'm just kind of filling in some of the blank spots, if you will. And just making sure that color is kind of all over the place, kind of nicely scattered. So there is, it almost looks like you just cut out a piece of designer series paper. So I'm going to layer that onto a mat of Misty Moonlight. And this is going to be 4 1/4 by 4. So just a hint of that Misty Moonlight peeking out. We're going to add that to our card front. I tried to make these designs really simple, and if you do have the In Color Club and maybe you don't have all of the colors that I'm going to be sharing with you, that's okay. There are lots of colors that are similar that you can use in place of, and really so many of them look good. You can either change up to the inks that you have on hand, or maybe some of the cardstock elements you can swap out to match the inks that you have. Either way, just experiment, play, have some fun. So this little die cut is from the All That dies. That's one of my favorites. If you don't have that in your collection, it is really a great basic shape for labels. So I love this one in particular. So detailed and delicate. All right, we're going to stamp a sentiment on that, and it's going to be hello. And we'll do that with copper clay. And then let's just finish up this background. We have a little strip here of the In Color Designer Series paper. Let me show you that again. I don't think I showed you both sides. So the Designer Series paper for all of the different color families has 2 different patterns, and then these are the back sides. And I use this one a lot. I like how subtle this one is, but we're going to be using this one a lot on this particular collection. If you're doing the In Color Club, you're going to get this paper, you're going to get ribbon, you're going to get all the stuff. So whatever you get in your kit, you'll be using yourself. So you'll cut this yourself. If you're getting the 5 card kit, I'll have this in there for you. So this is just a 4 1/4 by 1/2 inch. So we'll put that kind of as a little foundation there. Whoops. And pardon me. Before we pop that up, I'm going to add just a little bit of seal and this texture ribbon. I'm going to add that to the back of it. Kind of like that. Trim up the ends a little bit. Like so. And then we'll pop this up with some dimensionals. And I'm going to put a little bit more seal down just to make sure that that stays in place. There we go. I love this ribbon. I do want to tell you to be careful. Once you cut it, be careful of the ends. If you touch the ends, see how it starts to fray really easily? So if you don't want to have that frayed look, be careful not to touch the ends once you cut them. And then we'll add that to this little strip. Let's finish up with just a couple of the In Color dots, just to add a little shine. And there you go. So here's our first card. in some beautiful colors. Now let me show you the other card. So this is the one that's going to be in your 5-card class kit. If you're doing the In Color Club, you'll also get supplies to make this color combination. This one is Sweet Sorbet, Copper Clay again, Blackberry Bliss, and Petal Pink with the Petal Pink die and the Blackberry Bliss as the matte. So there's another fun color. Then we have this one. I really like this one because I like the greens. You have Misty Moonlight, Coastal Cabana, Soft Seafoam, and Copper Clay again. So this is what happens if you don't tack your ribbon down. It kind of shuffles a little bit. This piece right here is a little bit loose. Do you see what happened there? So make sure you put that little extra dab of seal adhesive or liquid glue so that that doesn't do that and kind of move around there. All right, and then the final card, again, all of these will be in your In Color Club kit for copper. And this one starts with Pretty Peacock, some Lost Lagoon, then we use that for the matte, and then Petal Pink again with the Copper Clay. So lots of different color combinations that you can use with that pretty copper color. All right, let's move along. Again, for your 5-card kit, you'll get all the supplies to make this, and the rest goes to the In Color Club. Okay, next up, let's do Pebbled Path. I always forget the D on there, but it is Pebbled Path. Again, a nice traditional card base. And we're going to start with a piece of 3/4 by 5 1/4 inch designer series paper. If you are with the club, you'll have this paper in your kit and you'll be able to cut that for your cards. And then I had to try out the new exposed brick embossing folder. Hopefully you can see that. It is such a pretty texture, and I love how if you use the one side, the brick looks more traditional and it has a lot of distressed look in it, but you can also use the back of it and it kind of looks like the mortar is being squished out of the brick, so that's kind of a different look but also really pretty. So you can use either side. I'm going to have the squished mortar side out because I like that. I like them both. It's one of the reasons I always do 2 cool versions, is because I never can make my mind up about which way I want to do something. So I especially enjoyed doing these cards because I could play with a lot of things. I didn't have to decide one or the other. I just did them all. Okay, let's start out with a sentiment. So Pebbled Path, and I have this Stylish Shapes Basic White die cut already cut out, ready to go. So happy to celebrate you. Next, we're going to have just a little, kind of a little bouquet over here, and I'm going to go ahead and pop this, well actually, I've already punched out with my bow, with my, what's it called? Bow? Now I'm totally forget. Bough Punch. And I have Coastal Cabana here. I've totally lost my train of thought. I apologize. All right, so I'm putting a little bit of seal behind there, and these are going to kind of stick out of the side like so and like so. Now we're going to pop those up with some dimensionals. And I'm never shy about using a lot of dimensionals because I don't like to have any dips in my pieces if they're larger like this. So use a lot of them. All right, we're gonna add that right here. I'm loving it already. And then we're gonna add just a few more sprigs here. So let's do those. So first I'm going to do a Coastal Cabana with the solid shape. I'm going to need to get my Simply Chamois out and clean up some of my stamps here. And I want to make it go the same direction as my punch so that I can line that up. So I'm going to put that right along the edge, like so. And that way I can line this right up very easily. Whoops. So when the camera's in the way, it's a little more difficult. So there's another Coastal Cabana piece. And we'll just set that aside there. We're going to do one more little sprig, this time with Berry Burst. And this one is going to be with a little, again, now look at your punch, and this time it's facing this way. So we're going to face the stamp this way. That makes it easy to punch out. So you'll get a scrap paper and you can punch these out with your punch. Like so. And then one last punch. This one is going to be, you could use either one of the outline stamps. And we're going to use Daffodil Delight on Daffodil Delight. So again, take note of the fact that it's going to be going to the right. That way you can cut it out, punch it out nice and easy. This is a little nice pop of color. All right, and I think that's all we need. I did forget one thing. So I'll show you that on my other, when I'm done with this card. So I also stamped this same daffodil color onto the circle before I pop that up. So I'm sorry I forgot about that. But we will just continue on, and this time I'm going to add these with some multi-purpose glue. Just a few dabs here and there. And we'll add that. And actually put a dab up here, but I didn't need to, so take care that you don't put glue where you don't need it. Then let's add this sprig. And we'll put this over here. I did the same thing, I put it at the top. Why do I keep doing that? And then the last one. Do what I say, not what I do. You know how it goes. Last one is right here. So it has kind of a little bouquet. And then you're going to have that daffodil stamped onto the circle. So it's going to kind of poke out a little bit. You'll see my other card when I'm done. I'll show you that. In your kit, you're going to have just a little linen thread here. And I'm already going to have it tied for you. So you don't even have to worry about tying it into a bow. Just put a little tiny dab of that liquid glue. Hold it there for a good 30 seconds, and that's going to tie that together to make a nice little bouquet. Let's show you what it looks supposed to look like with just a little hint of that daffodil coming out. So that is the second card in your 5-card class kit. And then let's look at some other color combinations for that card. Here's one with some Orchid Oasis, Tahitian Tide. Actually, no. I think I used Azure Afternoon, some Bubble Bath, and then this was the Orchid Oasis again. Some really pretty purples and blues there. Ooh, I love this one. Berry Burst for the background, Soft Sea Foam, and Flirty Flamingo, along with that Pebbled Path. So this is actually a card you can really go crazy with. You're going to get the punched out Berry Burst, but you can put that with whatever colors you have if you don't have all of these. And then my final one is kind of a fall look. It has the Mossy Meadow and Pecan Pie. Pecan or pecan? You tell me. And then the Soft Sea Foam. So those are the 4 cards that you'll get with your In Color Club participation. And then this is the one that comes with the 5-card kit. All right. Next up, we're going to go with Moody Mauve for our next color combination. This one again starts with your basic traditional 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. The background for this I have already embossed with a new basics embossing folder set. I wanted to show you that. I can't remember. I think it's just called Basics. But it's actually an online exclusive, and I wanted to show you that because I absolutely love this one. It has kind of a cross-hatch look. And then there's these are kind of, they almost look like little starfish on there. But that's kind of, maybe if I opened it up, you could see it better. I should have actually embossed something. But I love that one. And this one are just really deep dots. Deep 3D dots. Really, really pretty. And again, these are online exclusives. You're not going to find them in any catalog. They are online only, and they're only available while supplies last. So that they're not available forever. But they have been very popular. So they, if they ever kind of go out of stock and say currently unavailable, it means that they will be getting them back into stock. If you can't find them anymore, then they're gone. Then they're gone for good. But I'm going to use them while they're available because they're really, really pretty. Okay, so that's what I have for the background. We're going to add that. And again, you can choose either the embossed side or the debossed side. And I am going to have the debossed side for my background. I have a piece here of the In Color Designer Series paper. It's 1 inch by 5 1/4. So that's going to go right across. Whoops, we don't want to put that on yet. Hold on. Whoop. I have one piece I want to put on first. We have to know the order. Sneak peek. So this is a crumb cake 1.5 by 4 inch piece. We're going to do kind of a little crisscross with some elements here. So this one goes down first, then we'll put this as a little crisscross. Then we're going to do some stamping again. So here is the Countryside Inn Suite. Has these beautiful nested dies that I just think are amazing. Definitely one for your collection. Even if you don't like the stamps that go with them, the dies are awesome. So we're going to start with that. We'll start with a sentiment in Moody Mauve, of course. This one is going to say, sending hugs. So we'll start with that right here. Then we are going to do some Flirty Flamingo. I think we need to do some cleaning first, actually. So let me clean a couple of my stamps here. Squeak, squeak. And look how dirty that is. But if you just clean, just run it through just regular tap water and get all of it till the ink runs clear, till the water runs clear, then it's going to be really good. I mean, it really cleans your stamps very well. Okay, Flirty Flamingo is the start. And we're going to use the solid leaves again, right here. Then let's do pecan pie. Are there any When Harry Met Sally fans out there? That's what always confuses me, is the pecan pie scene. I know some of you younger people are like, When Harry Met Sally, what is that? So that is the second layer on there, and then we're going to finish with this third layer of another one that we have to clean up a little bit. This is Petal Pink, and then we're just going to add that, whoops, to the background again, like so. If you wanted to do some extra with the little dotted texture, you could do that. I think I might do that with some pecan pie again, only I'm going to stamp off and then maybe just put a few little dots around like so, just for some extra interest. All right, so this is going to go over our card like so. And before we do that, we're going to add on some leaves. Let me see how I did it. Hold on. I kind of forgot. So I'm going to add that on with some multi-purpose glue again. Just a couple dabs here and there. And I'm going to put this on here for positioning. So I want one to come up like this. Actually, a little bit farther over. And then I have another one in petal pink. And this one, much like the previous card, gonna kind of go this way. And then we'll pop this up with some dimensionals. Again, lots of dimensionals, so we don't have any dips in the paper. Don't be scared to use them. That's what they're there for. And so this is another fun one that you can use so many different colors with. Whatever colors you happen to have on hand, along with your Moody mauve. So, so pretty. Let's add a few of the In Color dots. The Moody mauve In Color dots. There we go, finished it up. So here is the third card for our 5-card class kit. And then let's look at some other color combinations for Moody mauve. I have a second one here. I used some gray granite for the petals at the side. I used old olive and fresh freesia for some flowers and the background. And then I think I just used stamped off Moody mauve for a little bit of texture. So that's number 2. Again, these are all cards that the In Color Club will be making. This one has the pecan pie for some of the stamping, and berry burst, and some bubble bath for the texture. And now you'll notice for these particular ones, I used the, do I have it somewhere? I guess oh, here it is. So I used like pecan pie with the first stamp, and then I used the 2-step stamping, and I used bubble gum, I think, but I'm going to show you in petal pink because I didn't bring my, not bubble gum, bubble bath. I'm going to use this with petal pink. So you just go over the top, and that's how I got that stamped in look with the bubble bath. So that's that third card. And then the fourth one has some Mossy Meadow and Lost Lagoon and a little bit of Pool Party for the background texture. So all 4 of these cards will be in your In Color Club kit for the month of Moody Mauve. And for the 5-card kit, you'll get that first card that we put together. Okay, 2 more. So the next one, Wild Wheat. A lot of mixed reviews on Wild Wheat. That seems to be the least favorite of all of the In Colors. So I wanted to tone it down just a little bit. Instead of using it for a card base, we're just going to use it for a hint of color. And again, it's kind of a really dark, it's a dark yellow, yellowish green, but it's really kind of a neutral, air quotes. And I think you'll find that it goes with a lot of things. So for this one, we're going to use double time stamping. Have you ever done that before? So we're going to need just a little tap of seal, just a couple of little dabs. You're going to put that card stock. This is a, let me give you the measurements. It's a basic white thick card base, and then 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 over the top. And then we're going to do some stamping off of the edge. So we'll start with, again, we have to clean off our stamps because we're using lots of different colors here. So make sure I have everything nice and ready to go. All right, so we're going to start with Lost Lagoon. And we're going to stamp that off of the side here. So you'll kind of roll it down onto the card base layer so that you get both of the layers. And then I'm just going to kind of work my way down, roll it off of it this way. So you hit all of those layers. Next, we're going to add some Misty Moonlight. A lot of these colors really look great with Misty Moonlight. So just because Misty Moonlight's a little bit of a muted color as well, and Lost Lagoon is that way too. So this one, we're going to use this little sprig and just add stuff here and there. Boop. I missed it. There we go, that's a little better. I know I'm gonna put, let's just stop where I'm at. Let's not go overboard. Okay, then we're gonna finish up with Wild Wheat. And we're gonna use that beautiful texture. All right, and this is, again, you want to make sure it kind of goes off the edge, just kind of here and there. You can do some overlapping. All right, just like that. Next, this is another fun one that you can just really experiment with colors because there's a lot of white and just a little bit of the winter wheat. So this winter, or I keep calling it winter wheat, wild wheat. This is 3 3/8 by 4 5/8, and we're going to just add some more seal to the back of this and mat it on that wild wheat piece. So just a hint of that color peeking out, and then we're going to pop this up. Actually, no, I don't think I popped it up. I popped up the sentiment. So let's add this with some seal. And you want to make sure that you're matching up your stamps so that it's positioned right. But I love that look. So it just kind of looks like it's flowing off of that frame. Really, really pretty. All right, we have a piece here of the Designer Series paper. This is 2 by 1 1/2. That's going to be underneath our sentiment, so we'll set that aside. Then I have another Stylish Shapes die cut, this time in Pool Party. And we're going to stamp the Thank You So Much sentiment in Coordinating Misty Moonlight again. And we're going to stamp it over to the left as far as we can. And then if you have a paper trimmer, I would use that to make it nice and square, or you can just kind of cut it off. But this is going to sit flush to the side of the card. I'm going to put a little bit of seal in the middle, and we're going to center this piece right on top. So another little hint of the winter wheat. Winter, why do I call it winter? Wild wheat. They should have named it winter wheat and bubble gum, and then Angie would never mess up. And that's going to go right here. So we're going to pop that up. And I love that hint of the wheat color and the Pool Party. Just really makes it pop. So you could put it up here if you wanted to. I'm going to put it down here. If you make a mistake somewhere, that's a good place to put it. It's a good cover up. And then we'll finish up with a little bit of the, can you hear my child is running upstairs? Boom, 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 boom. That's so funny. And then we'll put that right here. So a little bit of shine, and there is our card for our 5-card class. So pretty. Let's look at some other color combinations. Here's a nice one with the pecan pie and mossy meadow and wild wheat, along with soft sea foam as the lighter die cut. This one is, I believe it's Granny Apple Green. I can't remember if it's Granny Apple Green or Old Olive. Actually, it looks like Old Olive. And then some Flirty Flamingo, wild wheat again for the texture. And then this is Parakeet Party. So another just pop of green there with pecan over the top of it. And then the final one is Pretty Peacock, Berry Burst, Wild Wheat, and then another Pool Party for the label. So those are your 4 cards for your In Color Club. All right, one more to go. See, Wild Wheat isn't so bad. I think it's really awesome. It really is like a neutral to me. So this is the card for the 5-card class. All right, final one, Boho Blue. Sorry, I had so many different colors. It's clear down at the end of my table. All right, we're going to start out again with a traditional card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, this one starts with a 2 by 4 piece of the Designer Series paper. We're going to put that along the bottom. Like so. And then I have a top piece here. Let me give you a measurement. This is 4 by 3 1/4, and I've already textured that with the painted texture embossing folder. So we'll put that along the top. And then right down the middle, I'm just going to add a little strip of seal, and I'm going to add some boho textured ribbon. And I just put the adhesive not clear to the very edge, maybe in about 1/2 inch, so that I'll have room to come in and just trim that at a diagonal. So there is our card base. And then I had different colors of this foundation. This is Misty Moonlight, and I've die cut it with, again, another online exclusive. Let me show you that. Again, online exclusives, only available online and only while supplies last. But I love these. These are called the Radiating Stitches dies, and it has that beautiful texture all along the edge of all these different rectangle shapes and some other circle and heart shapes too. A really fun basic die set. Makes great layering elements. So my child is having so much fun upstairs. So I'm going to add that to the background. Then let's do some stamping. I have a Something Fancy. Let me show you that. Something Fancy dies is another great one for your collection. So here are these. These are great little labels and tag shapes that you can use for sentiment. So I love that one. This is a large die cut from that set. And let's clean our stamps once again. This time we're going to start stamping with Calypso Coral. And we're going to add that right here. Ooh, nice big pop of orange. Then we're gonna have Daffodil Delight. And again, you can just use either one of the outline stamps to kind of fill that in a little bit. If you want to add some texture, I'm going to do that with Misty Moonlight. And let me find my texture. Here we go. I'm going to clean that because we had some different color on there. And I'm going to do a stamped off again. So just a lighter blue. You could do Boho Blue. That would probably work. Look at that. That Misty Moonlight is kind of like, when it's stamped off, it is like Boho Blue. Perfect. All right, so this will be popped up. Let's go ahead and do that now. Three, 4, 5. It's so funny. Everything I do now, I'm counting because my child is learning how to count, and so I count everything, and she counts along with me. So that's always fun. So if you catch me going 1, 2, 3 as I do things, that's why. It's become a habit now. All right, here's a piece of scrap Boho Blue. And did I not bring it over? What did I do? Oh, here it is. I have so many colors of ink pads over here. It's crazy. All right, let's find another outline stamp. Ink it up in Boho Blue. Make sure it goes to the right. And we'll punch that out like so. And then I've already put in your kit a Calypso Coral little sprig there. And so we'll add both of those with some liquid glue. So this one's gonna go right here. And then the sprig in Calypso is gonna go right here. And we're gonna finish up with a sentiment. This time it's gonna be with this little piece of Daffodil Delight, just a pop of color that's 2 by 1 1/8. And we'll stamp that with Boho, actually Misty Moonlight's a little bit darker. Let's stick with that. If I can find it now. Whoop, whoop. I just had it. Let's just go with Boho Blue because for whatever reason I can't find my Misty Moonlight. It's got to be on this table. But we'll add it. Use Misty Moonlight, it'll look better. It'll look less green. Seriously, I can't find it. Here it is. I'm doing it again. Second chance on the other side. Thinking of you. And there's 2 more sentiments in there. Lots of really pretty sentiments. So definitely this layering leaves, really, really nice set. All right, this one we're gonna partially pop up in this corner and then a little bit of seal on this side so that we can layer it right here. Thinking of you. Isn't that beautiful? Let's finish it off with a couple of the In Color dots. And we're going to do 3 on there again. I like to do the large one with the small one and then the medium one at the bottom. Or you could put it down here maybe even. All right, so there is our card, our last card for our 5-card class. Then let's take a look at some other color combinations with Boho Blue. So this one is Balmy Blue I mean, who would have thought that would go together? But I like it. Balmy blue for the background and the stamping and the little sprig, some boho blue, and then some sweet sorbet is what I used for that pop of color with that leaf, and then petal pink for the sentiment. Let's try another one. So this one is Orchid Oasis, a bright blue with the boho blue, and Highland Heather. You could put in some additional texturing there if you wanted to, the dots if you wanted to. This one is Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie again, and then boho blue and a little bit of crumb cake for the sentiment. So those are your 4 cards for your In Color Club. All right, remember for the In Color Club, that's the 5-month, for each month you get all of the supplies for 1 color along with all of the supplies for 4 cards in that color scheme. And that's something you have to sign up, reserve your spot, and once we get 5 people together, then we start that club. And I will get a hold of you, and then we can make the arrangements for, the payments, and I'll let you know how you'll be getting each kit and when you'll be getting each kit. If you would just like the 5-card kit, then you just simply go to my toocoolstamping.com website, place an order of at least $40. You're going to use that host code on the checkout page, right at the top of the checkout page, C97SQNG2. That's how you let me know that you would like the 5-card class kit. You have until the end of the month. So May 31st is your last day to earn the kit, and you're going to get supplies for all of the cards that I showed tonight on that. Is that the one I did? No. Which one did I do? This one. Here we go. So these are the 5 cards that you'll have supplies for. And what I mean by that is you're going to have all the card stock, anything that's textured, you're going to have that embossed already. Everything will be die cut that's supposed to be die cut. If it is punched, if you don't have to stamp it ahead of time, it will be punched for you. If you do have to stamp it before you punch it, then you'll need to do that. That way, you can line that up really easily. And that means you're going to want to have that layering leaves stamp set along with the Bough Punch. Bow, why am I having a hard time with that today? Tell me how to pronounce things today. Anyway, this is an awesome set. You're going to love this set, and I hope that you've really enjoyed this class. I hope maybe it's inspired you to try to experiment with colors. And remember, I've only used the In Colors with other colors from the core families. I haven't even used the In Colors together. So there's lots of different options of using them together as well. So many things you can try. Just get inspired, get your ink pads out, and start putting things together. I think you're really going to love it. I am going to have, I'm going to be showing all of these cards on my blog this week for an In Color Inspiration Week. I'm calling it a week, but it's probably going to be, it's probably going to last until the end of the month, as long as this class is going on, because I don't blog every single day. But I'm going to have some additional color combinations on my blog as well. So look for that. I'll have some other inspiring, refreshing colors that go with each of the In Colors that you can hopefully use to create some of your own fun In Color cards. I hope that you love the In Colors as much as I do. Maybe if you didn't like them before, do you like them a little bit more now? Hopefully. That was kind of my goal, so I hope that you do. Let me know if you've changed your mind about them at all. All right, I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me live. If you've catching the replay, I appreciate you taking the time for that as well. And I look forward to stamping with you again next time. Until then, this is Angie with Too Cool Stamping. Thanks. Bye-bye.